Hello, it's Vanessa Aitken here on day 7. I am switching it up today. I'm ditching what I was going to put in for day 7, and I'm giving you something else. And it follows on from a bonus video that I posted the other day, which was about wisdom. If you haven't seen it, please go back and view it. I think it was on Thursday. It follows on from there. I shared with you the insight that we are all born with inherent wisdom, and wisdom isn't something that we only acquire through age and experience. Wisdom is something that we're all born with, and we're all born with the same amount of wisdom. Now, when I was first introduced to that concept, initially I was whatever lady, but then I really understood what it meant, and it really changed the way I felt about myself in the world and my feelings of safety, and it really changed the relationship that I had with anxiety and turned everything around for me. That was the first big insight that I had in these understandings of these 3 psychological principles. The next huge insight that I had, which really turned everything on its head, was that, and I'll preface it with, on one side of my family, there is a significant history for generations and generations of quite chronic mental health issues, all sorts of different mental health issues. And I thought that I was fundamentally flawed, and so many of us think that we are fundamentally flawed to our core, to our psyche. We can't change that. So when I heard this piece of information, it was quite groundbreaking. And it is for many people, because it's not what we're taught today. What it is, it doesn't matter how shit your life is at the moment. It doesn't matter how depressed, anxious, how long you've experienced it for. If you've experienced it chronically for 3 years, if you've experienced it chronically for 40 years. If you go in and out of depression, if you go in and out of anxiety, or if you are just always anxious, depressed, even if you're feeling suicidal, you are and you have innate mental health. I'll say that again. Within you lies innate mental health. What do I mean by that? That's such a bold statement. What I mean by that is to say that you don't have innate mental health would be like walking outside on an overcast day and saying, well, I only see grey clouds in the sky, therefore the sun does not exist anymore. Well, of course the sun still exists. The sun is always there. It's just momentarily obscured by clouds. When those clouds pass, the sun will come shining through once more. Our mental health is like the sun. It is always there. It is always underneath the surface of our own cloudy thinking. It is always waiting to reappear. And when that cloudy thinking passes through, your innate mental health comes to the forefront again. To me, when I heard that, it was not something that I had ever even remotely contemplated. Are you telling me that I am innately mentally well? Whoa, clearly you don't know my thoughts, you don't know my thinking. I haven't shared with you those terrifying, creepy, out there thoughts. But when I saw this as truth, it was phenomenal. It gave me a sense of okayness and wholeness that I had never, ever felt before. And it made me realize that the only time I ever felt anxious or mentally unwell was when I had cloudy thinking. I had hooked into my thinking. And when I learned to let that cloudy thinking pass through, my innate well-being would shine through once more. It is enormously, enormously empowering, this understanding. And this is what I'm really passionate about giving to my clients, showing them where their innate mental health lies in any given moment, in any circumstance. And the more they see it, the more it comes, the more it shines. You know, what I've just shared is really kind of unorthodox. You know, we're not taught to look for wellness. We're often taught to look for and manage pathology emotionally, psychiatrically, whatever. So it's really quite, oh, that's a different way of thinking. But this understanding and this understanding of these 3 psychological principles have been taken into a lot of psychiatric hospitals in the US and the UK, where people with paranoid schizophrenia, chronic paranoid schizophrenia, who are on high doses of antipsychotic medication, have been exposed to these understandings. And the transformations that have occurred have been phenomenal. A woman who was on incredibly high, at the higher end of antipsychotic medication dose, paranoid schizophrenia, within 6 months of this understanding. And she had been experiencing schizophrenia for over 20 years. Within 6 months of this understanding, she was down to a quarter of her original antipsychotic medication, and she was virtually symptom-free. And whenever she did start to feel a little bit of paranoia, she would understand what's going on, and that cloudy thinking would move through really quickly, and her innate mental health would shine through again. People who have been suicidal have had massive realizations within 48 hours that has really turned their understanding around and really given them a sense of power and freedom. You too have that innate mental health. It is always waiting underneath. It's underneath that cloudy thinking. And in any moment you can access it. One new thought away from allowing that mental health to shine through again. Please let me know what you think of this. Has it stopped you in your tracks and given you an understanding about yourself that is powerful? Or are you, I'm not quite sure that lands with me yet? Let me know. For some people it's really new information and so contrary to what they have believed that it can be a little bit jolting. Let me know what you think. I'm so curious to know. And I will follow up tomorrow. I know it's a 7-day challenge, but I want to follow up tomorrow and see how everyone's going. Let me know what you think. Please comment below. And I'll see you soon.